How's everyone's week? Oh, it's only Monday. Oh, it's going to be great then, I guess.
Only Monday, indeed. The kids have finished school. 9
Yeah.
weeks of holidays. 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Whoa, blimey. Well, that's fine. You can send them off to the lake every day. They'll be fine. They're old enough now. They don't need you hanging around them. My son's 18 on Wednesday, and I'm going to be free as a bird after that.
Wow, is he 18? Is
18.
already? Oh my
I
gosh.
know, he's 18. I can't believe it. I know. Yes, it's true. So yes, I'm just yeah, won't be long, will it? I'll be all by myself. Oh, can't wait. Excellent. Sorry, Ollie, he's not listening. It's fine. Anyway, I hope you're all you've had a good week. I keep thinking we're having a good week because I'm thinking we're doing our training on Sunday morning. On the first Sunday of the month, which will be on Sunday, we will have our 8:30 training because we will be doing our nation training at that time, once on the first Sunday of the month. But we'll carry on with our 8 o'clock in the evening on Monday, and then we'll jump on Ella's one tonight as well. Anybody got anything fabulous they want to share? Any wins? Any questions? Because I've got stuff to share with you, but I thought, say something if you want to.
What was I going to say? No, I'm just following up with people over here, Sarah, getting people's order in because I'm coming back to the UK in August.
Yeah.
So just following up with everyone I've spoken to over here so that I can bring back, a number of boxes and stuff.
Right.
So that's been good and all very positive. And then my plan for tomorrow, again, I've obviously messaged everybody at the beginning of the month with like the half price, nutrition offer and so on and so on. So I'm going to do video messages tomorrow to sort of, to follow up on that. Obviously, 2 days left and all the rest of it to see.
Good.
Yes. So
good.
No, it's looking positive for the end of the month.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
And my plan is also to sign up Arbonne IC by Wednesday.
Well, we're all listening. We're all listening. So therefore, we'll take it as a done deal then, Mary. Yeah. Excellent.
Yes.
Good. Oh, good. Yay. But the power of intention is very, very strong, isn't it? Yes. We've got, like you say, loads of time. What is the day? 28th, 29th, 30th. Can all happen. I think it's just about, lovely. I like your positive news. And I think it's all just about having the right intention, isn't it? Anything can happen in a short space of time. I think it is about, funny that you've mentioned that, because I was going to talk just a little bit about just prospecting on purpose, because I think when you have that intention to make it happen rather than not make it happen, or think, I think it is a mindset shift in all of us when we do that. It's just like, it doesn't matter if it's day 28 or day 1. What am I going to make happen today? It doesn't matter, does it? And some people have the most amazing, like, Mary, from being in the business a while, people have qualified, completed all sorts of things by just going crazy on the last 2 days of the month. So I think it's just about, you've got the right intention, which is, well, I'm just going to do it anyway. So, it's funny because that's what I was going to share tonight, was just about prospecting on purpose. And the reason I say that is because it's easy to just sometimes go, or I've spoken to 12 people this month, but they might come into your business in like 2 months' time. I've had loads of one-to-ones this month. I've sent out sample packs, spoken to people. I've got a couple of new preferred clients, but there's a couple of people who I'm reaching out to that have reached out to me via LinkedIn because they're vegan and they're interested in having a vegan business. Will they come on board before the 30th of the month? I don't know, but they might come on board on the 1st or the 2nd of July. So I think if you have that positive mindset of, just, even though we know in Arbonne, we do actually, our business runs from the first day to the last day in terms of how we get paid. But if you just see it as a rolling factor, imagine what it would feel like if you were having 3 great conversations with people on the 30th. And okay, on that day, they didn't say, yes, please, I'd like to register my Arbonne account for products or to join your consultancy. But on the 3rd, 4th or 5th of the month they did, what a brilliant July we'd all have. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's such a good mindset to just imagine it is a continually rolling thing. It's not like, oh, it is kind of, you know, it's just got that continual, I don't know, roll to it. I found a really great fact as well. John told me, I think he probably saw it on the BBC News or on some business he was looking at, business page or something. 85,000 people in the UK have started new businesses in the last 4 months. 85,000 people are obviously thinking, I think I might do something for myself. So I find that really positive, because I think people are looking, people understand 100% about many, many income streams. You know, Verna, you've got several businesses. You know, we know that power of having several income streams from different places. Some of it's, you know, real life with real people. Some of it's online. You know, so many people have subscription services now. Remember, we've got the awesome Be Well Club as well, you know, which once you find your feet with that, and everybody who becomes a preferred client, you tell them about it. You know, that's another great thing to do. So I think most of us have got really busy lives, careers, you know, all sorts of things going on. And I think it's just really great to just feel like, be really focused if you can. I know you're both really busy, you run other businesses, you know, jobs, all sorts of things, kids. So I think the clearer we can be in our intention to decide when we're going to schedule. I mean, obviously we will bump into people all sorts of times and have the opportunity to speak about Arbonne. We might just come up in conversation. But if we can schedule that positive time where we're thinking, this is when I do my Arbonne business. I'm not getting up from my desk until I have contacted 5 new people or made 5 contacts on LinkedIn. I just really love giving myself those little challenges, because it's so easy to stand up and think, oh, I'll just go and make something to eat, or I'll just go for a walk, you know. But so I just set myself little tasks like that. And I think it's really important to just find your time, because I only use myself as an example, because I'm not sitting here with all the time in the world. When I started my business, I had about 15 minutes a day to prospect and go and talk to people. So I think it's really good to do it on purpose. And the best way to do it, I think, which is a little tip, is we prospect much better when we overcome our fear of rejection. When we don't actually care what the outcome is, or how we're going to have the conversation, or whether it's going to be yes or no. We're just going to really enjoy the moment of having those conversations with people and finding out about them and their business, and how can we help them and give them referrals, or, you know, and just really enjoy. I just make myself really enjoy the 45 minutes that I'm spending when I do one-to-ones with people, getting to know someone, finding out about them, you know, seeing what I could do to give them referrals. And, oh, that's brilliant, I love what you do, I know somebody, you know. And then you just feel like that was a really lovely 45 minutes spent. So I never feel like I've wasted it. And if it goes a little bit one way where, you know, I'm really helping them with something, and, you know, I think, well, I can't just really add in at the last 5 minutes, oh, we must talk about my business now. I just say, let's have another half an hour catch up. Some people have messaged me and said, oh, you know, let's do it next week or tomorrow, because, you know, we didn't really finish what we needed to say. But I think the one thing that does more to sabotage our business results and our income potential, definitely, is that single factor, and is that obstacle that, you know, we're going to fear that we might be saying the wrong thing to some person. We don't feel comfortable. We don't know the products enough. We don't know the business enough, rather than just speaking with passion about what we do and having another conversation. But I think when we take ourselves out of the picture, this is what I tend to do. I kind of take myself out of the picture. I just chat about what I do, how it helps people, why, you know, it's got such a diverse culture, why, in terms of different people from different backgrounds who are all like looking for online businesses. I think when we take ourselves out of the picture, we truly believe we're a consultant who help people overcome their problems. So whatever that is, you know, whether that's with their skin, their nutrition, their current work life, it doesn't matter what it is. I think when we spend time with better quality prospects, that we've actually qualified in terms of, no, no, I can tell by talking to him, he's not in the slightest bit interested in the business, but actually he did tell me that his wife's a vegan. So I'm going to ask him for referrals. I'm going to say, okay, I'd love to send you some samples. I think your wife might love to try these products. Or, you know, do you do anything in sports? You know, if somebody looks like they might be working out or something. So I think being really open-minded, sociable, and very optimistic, with a need that, and finding out what that need is that Arbonne could maybe fulfill with them, so I think really is prospecting on purpose. And, you know, secondly is to remain positive. I mean, yeah, you know, we can have a little, oh God, but I think the shorter, I would learn this from Sarah Dunning, the shorter you allow those times of, oh God, to happen, the quicker you can bounce back. It doesn't matter then how many conversations you have, no's or not nows or occasionally nevers. Just be professional and disciplined about it and go, that's absolutely fine. Because all I want to do is when I meet people is for them to go away thinking, that was a great conversation I had with Sarah. You want people to feel uplifted. You want them to go away and think, I really like Verna, or I really like Mary, or I really like Sarah. What a passionate entrepreneur she is. And, you know, that makes people feel good, because also we've got so many business skills. There's so many, and Mary, obviously with you being with a marketing background like I have, you know, when I'm doing my one-to-ones with people, I'm always thinking of marketing ideas for them for their business, because it's in my DNA to talk about, you know, how they're marketing their business, or have they thought about doing that? What kind of leads are they looking for? And actually I'm adding value to them no matter what. And what happens is there's just a kind of feeling of reciprocity amongst people, you know, and a lot of people will then say, look, I need to find out how I can get you some leads and I can help you. So I just think it's be really open. Don't assume that at the end of that 45 minutes, you need to find an answer to anything. You don't. It's just about having the conversation. Obviously, if you speak to enough people and give them enough time to decide for themselves, without hunting them down, whilst remaining positive, and give them the info they need to hear. So I think that's why I did a little call with Maya's team yesterday. If you give people, and this is what we were saying about, you know, give people the information they need to hear, people will join your team or become your customers, because it is all above all a numbers game. So, you know, we can't give people what they need to hear unless we've asked them questions to find out what they want. So I think it's really good to ask people questions, because I was talking to this guy today, and he'd heard of Arbonne through a friend of a friend, you know, ages ago. He lives in Manchester. His wife had heard of, he said, oh yeah, I think we've heard of the brand, but you know, it's very sort of wishy-washy. But I just think, you know, he was basically saying, you know, when I first mentioned it, there wasn't any, oh, that sounds great. Yeah, he just carried on, and I just carried on talking, and, you know, and then I just said, you know, most people I know are looking to become, I'll tell you what, this word works, to become conscious consumers, you know, whether that's nutrition or whatever it is. And then when I mentioned nutrition, I could see his ears prick up, because he obviously hadn't thought about it as that before, because maybe his wife thought it was cosmetics, because that's what she'd been introduced to. So I think it's just find those ways that people can want to have another conversation with you, and secondly, you're going to be on the tip of their tongue when they're thinking about what you do. You need to speak to Mary. Oh, do you know what? I was speaking to this amazing woman, and, you know, or I was speaking to Verna. She could actually help you. You need to speak to her. Let me put you in touch with her. Because actually, third-party validation is so good, isn't it? Because, you know, third-party validation isn't you saying I'm brilliant. It's somebody else giving you referrals. And I got one recently, because I was reached out to a guy that runs a charity and sent him a little prospecting pack. And yeah, he probably thought his daughter would like it or something, you know. But he messaged me out of the blue, because I've kept in touch with him. He said, our MD would be all over this. She's vegan. She's really into like different ways of doing things. So she's connected with me on LinkedIn. I've never met her in my life before, but he's given me a referral to her. So I just think you've got to keep it open, you know, from a prospecting point of view, whether that's regarding the products, but particularly with the business, because it can be a long chat with some people. Does that make sense? You know me, I'm going to stay positive no matter what. So I can't build my business any other way. And you know, whatever doubts you might have, I think just, you know, and that's the other thing that came up yesterday when I was talking to Myers lot, was because when you've been in the business a while, so obviously I've been in the longest, then Mary, then Verna, but when you've been in the business a while, you use past experiences to judge what's going to happen to futures, don't you? It's human nature that you do that. Well, I talked to this really nice person before and she said she was going to join and then she never did, or he did join, but then he didn't do anything. So I guarantee, I bet you, oh, same thing's going to happen again. And actually, in a way, it's really unfair to ourselves to be like that. And it's really unfair to the prospect because they don't know anything of the past history.
Yeah.
What we're thinking in our mind, do they?
It's very true. So I'm talking to one lady I work with at the moment. And I said to her, like, oh, you know, I'd just love to tell you what I do on the side. Let's have a chit chat. So we had a chit chat last week for half an hour, and I just asked her loads and loads of questions because I had no clue what she'd done in the past or what she, you know, how she'd got to where she got to, and so on and so on. And it was interesting. She's not enjoying working where we're working at the moment, and that's another story. But her husband's 10 years older, because she was like saying, oh, I'd love to just jack it all in and do something completely different, but I can't afford to. And, you know, anyway, I found out loads of things, but she'd like to retire her husband because he's a builder and he's older, and yada, yada, yada. Anyhow, we had a really good conversation. She's lovely anyway. And then I did sort of like the quick 10-minute overview of Arbonne, and she was like, oh my God, Mary, she said, your face just lights up when you talk about it. I can just tell just how passionate you are and stuff. She said, oh, it's a brilliant. She goes, I've never heard of the brand. And anyhow, I said, we ran out of time. So I said, so she said to me, oh, I tell you what, let's do a wine call next week with a glass of wine, because we've been doing this during the day. And I said, yes, okay, fine. So anyway, she said, oh, send me what you've just said to me, and we'll catch up next week. So I kind of came off the call thinking it had been a lovely chat. I'd found out loads. I sent her all the stuff. Then on Sunday, up pings on my phone, Gmail from Nora, and my heart sank, because I just thought, oh, here we go. She's just saying thanks, but no thanks. She's looked into it. She's read some stuff, or do you know what I mean? Because that's
Yeah, exactly what I'm
so much
saying. Past
yeah,
history. Yeah.
exactly, past history, because
Yeah.
so much has happened, you know, and all the rest of it. And as opposed to like speaking to me directly, they've sent an email because they think, you know, they don't want to hurt my feelings and all this kind of crap. So I didn't open it, Sarah. Didn't open it. And so at lunchtime, I was sitting there going, all right, okay, let's open that email and see what she says. And she was just like, thanks so much for sending the information. Right, I'm free Tuesday or Wednesday. Do you want to have a glass of wine? There we go.
There you go.
See, and so exactly to your point, Sarah, there was me sitting there going, oh, right, okay, here we are. But actually, you know, she'd come back and said, yeah, thanks for sending that. Sounds, you know, let's have a chat and a glass of wine. So there we go. So that's on Wednesday.
Well, there you go. That's brilliant. And it is the fear of rejection, and it's also the repetition of what we may have already had previously. Yes. So we, rather than, and it's so important that we put out that positive power of intention, isn't it? Because I don't know why, but I must have got on some Facebook group, but I keep seeing the message comes up every day. And it is, you know, it's a positive affirmation, you know, it's like I'm speaking to myself, somebody saying, you know, I always remember Verna saying, Sarah, just say to yourself, I attract money from north, south, east, and west. It's coming in abundance, you know. And so I keep getting these little messages, and I'm thinking it's like a really positive stuff, because it's so easy to switch to that, well, you know, and like you did, like exactly that, because because if we can't, I think as well, if we just understand that absolutely the odds are we are going to get far more rejections than we are yeses, because that's just the stats of life, isn't it? Right? If we know that, like, right, I'm going to speak to 10 people, I reckon 8 of them are going to say no and 2 are going to say yes. If we have that in our mind, we're like, okay, well, I need to speak to 16 people to get 4 yeses. Right, and I'm looking for 4 new business partners, so I need to get, you know, I mean, everyone's odds change, but you can kind of work out your odds.
And actually then also when someone says no, you're like, oh, that's fair enough, you're one of my no's, no problem, let's move on.
Yeah.
because you're like, great, that's another no.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, who's ever had a no that's, oh, you know, very, very rarely have I ever had, probably twice Have I ever had a no, 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 never, stay away from me, don't ever come near me? No. I mean, they're just like, no, not really, not right now, not the right time, you know.
Yeah.
So I just think, you know, honestly, top tip is just prospect on purpose, though, because, you know, in whatever other businesses we have, we talk about those other businesses on purpose. We say very clearly, you know, what we do, how we help people in whatever else we're doing. And I think if we can just create that feeling of absolute certainty in how we speak about Arbonne, but not in a I'm trying to convince you way, just in a this is what I do, this is why it works. And after a while, you can drop in some powerful little things, you know, like most people, I know most people want to have freedom. Most people want to own their life. You know, add in a few Eric Worries and a few Big Al's, you know, into little snippets of the conversation, and you get people nodding back at you, and you're on the same side of them. You're all, yeah, that's right. No, oh, really? Yeah, you know, I mean, there is an art to it. Of course there is. But the thing is, the best way to learn it is to do it more.
So I was thinking a couple of weeks ago, just obviously about the law of attraction, and we all know, you know, how this works and all the rest of it. And I was sitting there thinking, in some parts of my life, it's very easy and it works, and I think it works very well. But then I was like thinking, well, why has this not transpired so well in my Arbonne business up until now? And I think, you know, at the beginning of each month, you know, I set big targets, or this or that or the other, and then as everyone, life gets in the way and so on, and then you kind of think, oh my God, I'm never going to get anywhere near this. So one thing I remember listening to, one of the Abraham Hicks's sessions or whatever,
Yeah.
where basically Abraham said, if you're doubting it in any way, start with something really small. So basically start by saying, right, today I'm going to attract myself a free cup of coffee, and hold that in your mind, believe it. I'm going to attract a free cup of coffee, something really small, or something, or I don't know, I'm going to see 10 white butterflies today, or whatever it is that you want. Put it out to the universe and go through your day, and see actually, you know, whether that transpires. Because what they, you know, obviously what they say is that it's no more difficult to, you know, attract 10 white butterflies as it is to attract £1 million. It's just the fact that in our head we think it is. So I kind of like sat there and thought, right, okay, so that's basically where my one IC is, because that's I think, okay, as opposed to thinking, okay, I'm going to be the next MVP, which just seems huge, and in my head I think, how realistic is that? I know it's wrong, but you know what I mean.
No,
So I kind of like thought, right, actually, no, in June I have a new IC in my business. And that's kind of
you've
like
been thinking that for a while in June.
that's the affirmation that I've been having for the last 2 weeks in June. This was literally a couple of weeks ago when I kind of like, you know, was thinking, how am I going to get what I've said I was going to do in June, and started getting a bit overwhelmed by it. And then I thought, no, actually, I'm going to prove to myself that exactly that I'm just going to focus on one thing and watch that manifest, and then I'm going to move on and say something else. And that, so anyway, so this is it. So this is why I have
You're manifesting it, because look what's happened with what's her name, the lady on Wednesday.
Nora.
Yeah. And also, I'm sure Abraham Hicks would also say, you don't know when it's coming. You don't know where it's going to come from. It's going to pop out when you least expect it, but it is going to come because you have asked for it, you know?
Yes.
So it's very fascinating, isn't it? And it's so hard for our brains, because our brains function mostly on fear, negativity, what ifs, coulda, woulda, shouldas.
Yeah.
If you just accept that's 98% of how our brain works, we've got to work really hard on the 2%, haven't we?
Yeah. Well,
Right
exactly.
against 98% that's doubtful, you know.
And I just thought, rather
Well
than kind
done.
of like,
That's really great.
thinking, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I need to find 10 PCs, or I need to find this, or I need to find this. I thought, no, we're just going to focus on one thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
watch that manifest. So
exactly.
one new IC is joining the team.
There we go. That's
By Wednesday.
amazing. That's brilliant. And if your one IC had joined you on the 4th of June, you could have asked for another IC, couldn't you? So, because you don't know when. Exactly. So, all good stuff. So I think, yeah, just it's just about, I mean, you hear it once, you'll hear it 1,000 times. Everything is about mindset. It starts with, it comes first, doesn't it? You know, it comes first. You can either enjoy it, like it, think you're going to have fun, think this is great. I could be doing something so much less challenging. And it's nice to be challenged, but at least we can set our own challenges. So I just think, you know, at the end of the day, the network marketing, social marketing business is still a better way, however you look at it, you know, and I'm sure in 20 years' time, can you imagine how many millions of people have thought, oh, I wish I'd listened to Mary 20 years ago, you know. Now all these millions and millions of people have got, think of all the other companies that are going to set up franchises. And I talk to so many business people that are part of St. James's Place, financial, whatever it is, that's a franchise. Think of all the travel companies, they're all franchises. They're all the same, you know, I mean, I just think it's just, network marketing itself is just a great, fantastic, fair, ethical way to do business. You know, I know I sound like Eric Worre now, and I haven't read his book for ages, but yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great that we can do that and share it and just get good at asking people questions, right? Ask people questions where they can chat to you and you can say, do you know what, I've got an idea for you. How about this? And like you say, the follow-up is great, because I always send, is Arbonne for you? What is a B Corp? The nice little email. It looks really professional. Who's going to read that and go, well, that looks like crap? Nobody is. And even if it's not for them, it looks gorgeous anyway, because it's all beautifully designed and created, isn't it? So yeah, just keep talking the talk and walking the walk. Has everybody got the number for let me just stop the recording. Has everybody got the number for the 8:30 call? Yeah. Okay. Stop.